on a 4-game winning streak. Can we make it 5 in a row for Catamount head coach Kerwin Bell? It's going to be an interesting day as Brentley kicks it off, and the quarterback is going to run it, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. Outstanding penetration by the Catamount defense. Back to throw. Dickens, there he is, got his man, and that's the first pass completion of the day. Breaking a tackle, Malik Knight down the left sideline, all the way down inside the Bulldog 10-yard line. It's first and goal to the left side. Now coming the other way is going to be Tiger rolling that way. He's going to throw in the end zone. Got him. That should be a Catamount touchdown.
It is. Malik Knight.
They finally signal. Malik Knight got it just inside the pylon, and the Catamounts are on the board. Now they got a man in motion. They're going to run to the right side. The quarterback is going to cut up field, and man, as he met at the line of scrimmage, I mean with force, leading the charge is going to be Samari Dukes, among others.
Popped his helmet off and everything. I mean, he got stuck.
Boy, he did.
He got stuck. That's a big-time hit by Samari.
Yeah, there's a nice hole out across the 40-yard line, very close to a first down. Tiger, plenty of time to throw this time. Fires, got his man in a gap. They almost had a zone look on defense. 4th down and 2 now. Dickens rolling to his right, trying to find somebody open. Fires in the end zone. Wide open.
Yes.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
That's a Catamount in the end zone right there, buddy.
Josiah Thomas, the freshman, right under the goalpost. Catamounts now at the 43. Oh, in trouble. Tiger breaks away from the sack. Now wants to throw it and does. Got his man over the middle. It's going to be complete. There's Boyd again, and he's finally brought down at the 15-yard line of the Citadel. Here comes the handoff. Right side going all the way in.
Untouched.
Oh, no problem. And the Catamounts are on the board. And, Markel Townsend has had a pretty good ball game here.
I'm not sure what they were looking at. That was just a delayed straight handoff.
We ain't done. We just getting started. It ain't over.
Tiger rolls to the left side. Got a lot of room over there. He can do a couple of things. Now he fires it. Touchdown in the end zone. He loves the corner of those end zones. Our second TD just inside the pylon. Hands off this time around the left side, and we stop him for a loss. Big play on there by Jordan Thompson. He's going to roll to the left side. He's going to try to throw in that corner, but the Catamounts say, not on my watch.
Ken Moore again.
Done. Stephen averaging 45 yards a punt this year.
2 punts today for 44-yard average. We fake it.
Oh, running left side, we get the first down and then some.
Take it, Isaac.
All the way
Isaac
down
McClellan.
inside the 40-yard line. What a nice play.
Trickeration in the house.
Dickens back to throw. This time, plenty of time.
There it
Fires
is.
left side. Malik Knight is wide open. Touchdown. Catamounts to Malik Knight. What a play.
Aerial attack comes through, and for the first time today, we beat that deep safety. That's that 2-deep zone.
This time he's going to throw. He steps up. No, he's going to run the quarterback draw play. And hey, this time
that
we
should be
got
a
him.
sack. And that should be a sack.
Yeah, that was a loss on the play. 4-man front. Tiger rolling in the end zone, wide open. Dominique, and he's got it. It's
Touchdown.
another Catamount touchdown in that end zone.
What a play again. A little out route, a little fade pattern. And how about the old track star?
And that is the final play, fans. Catamounts hit a knee, and we're going to go home with the win here this afternoon.
And a good Monday evening to you, live from Catamount Jaxe, just across from the Western Carolina campus, part of a busy week here in Catamount Athletics that doesn't include football this weekend. The bye weekend here, not an off week, but a bye week. Catamount's will be doing a lot of work here this week, getting ready for Chattanooga coming up, not this weekend, but the following. Of course, 4 games remain in the regular season, 2 at home, 2 on the road. We'll be at Chattanooga next. We'll talk about that as we go forward. But again, Western Carolina, glad to have you tuned in here to Catamount Jaxe as Western Carolina comes away with the big win over the Citadel. We'll talk about that. Of course, Catamount Football Weekly brought to you every week by Stanberry Insurance. 4 locations to serve you: Silva, Waynesville, Highlands, and of course now Clyde, North Carolina. Glad to have you tuned in here. Daniel Hooker alongside the coach, Kerwin Bell. A busy day today. We've got this going on here at Catamount Jaxe. A lot of folks here pre-gaming for Catamount's Night in the Wee going on. We got basketball coming up just across from campus as we've got basketball season right around the corner. October 29th, the men's team will have their first exhibition game here in Jackson County. Hope you'll make your chances to take the opportunity to come out there. But again, Western Carolina. And again, here's a Night at the Wee presented by Prospect Cullowhee. Of course, we're here at Catamount Jaxe. But again, a great opportunity to go see that event here this evening. Free admission over at Ingalls Court at the Ramsey Center. Daniel Hooker alongside Coach Bell. And of course, Coach, as we start looking back at that ball game against the Citadel Bulldogs, a pretty good win. The team win. Didn't play perhaps your 100% best game overall, but I think the Citadel had a lot to do with that. That's a much improved football team that's playing with a lot of confidence coming in. Your overall thoughts on last Saturday's win?
Well, it was a good road win. You know, anytime you can win on the road in this conference, you got to feel good about it. And, you know, defensively we were just a little bit out of whack. Them running the triple, you know, and having that responsibility a lot, we had to change a couple things here and there. Didn't run our regular defense. Now we can go back these next 4 games and go back to that Furman type, you know, style and what we've done in the past. So get back to our regular defensive stuff. But they came out and showed us a lot of different things, man, that we hadn't seen on film also. I was talking to Coach Drayton there after the game. He's like, yeah, Kerwin, he said, we threw everything at y'all. He said, we knew we had to score a bunch of points to stay with y'all. So we wanted to introduce a bunch of different stuff in the game and see if we could get some points out of it, and they did. They got enough points to stay in it. And I thought we made a really good move there right before half and right after half that got us a little bit of separation to go win that game.
Well, you did. Of course, you got a chance to get the field goal right there to go up 7 at the break. But you mentioned you saw Coach Drayton, and I think he's done a heck of a job. I said that throughout the broadcast, said it last week, a guy that's going to get that program going in the right direction, and I think he has. A team that is very difficult to defend, especially the two-headed quarterback. A lot of people have said, oh, I wish they would just choose one and go with them, but they really bring in 2 different styles. They do a lot of the same things, but they're just 2 different guys out there. Kind of makes it more difficult for that defense to know exactly what's coming when they have the 2 different quarterbacks.
Well, they do a really good job of getting in different formations and things like that. And then when you have the option that you got to worry about, so you got some rules for that. And then all of a sudden you got the quarterbacks in play because both their quarterbacks can run extremely well. Now you've got the extra blocker, so now you got to make sure defensively you got the extra defender in the box. So a lot of things that you're just not used to defensively. We didn't handle it as well as we should have with a week's worth of practice. I thought the things that we really worked on that they had showed up until that point we handled really well, but they showed so many other different things that really caught us off guard a little bit, and we had to make some adjustments. You have to do that all the time, and I thought our defense was a little bit slow in doing that. We didn't play quite as aggressive because of that. So we got to get back to being the kind of defense we were in that Furman game, and that's what we're looking to do these last 4 games.
Well, you go back and look at our Southern Conference when Wofford used to run the triple option and the Citadel used to run the triple option and Furman had option principles, and even as far back as a Georgia Southern. You talk about putting in your option principles. A lot of times you would get lucky on a schedule and have those back-to-back-to-back or at least two of those around because it is so different. I don't think people fully understand the fits that you have to make. And I thought we talked about this on this program, how we had started to fit the run a lot better. But when you add in that quarterback, it's just one more piece to that puzzle that just makes it that much more difficult. So I think, again, you did enough to win the football game, obviously, because you came away with the victory. But it's just so different with what they do. And with the change in the offense in the Southern Conference, does it make that much even more difficult when you finally see option principles that you don't see multiple times a year?
Well, like you say, instead of now 4 or 5 in the conference, it's just that one, really. I don't know if anybody else really runs it like that, or you have to worry about those principles, to get ready for during the week. So, yeah, it makes it tough. And then both their quarterbacks are really good athletes, and so they can do damage. But our whole deal was we wanted to go out and make sure that we separated early, and I thought we started a little slow, but I thought we really scored some points there in the middle part of the game that got us a 2-touchdown lead. Man, if we could have found a way to stop them maybe 1 or 2 more times on defense, I think we could have ballooned that thing up to a 3- and 4-touchdown lead, which would have been a big, easy win. That's what I need. I'm tired of all these close wins, man. We're trying to win big. We did against Furman, but I thought they did a really good job of just bouncing back. When we'd score, they'd find a way to answer. And so it was a tough game throughout, but like I told our team, when you win on the road, we've got that triple option stuff out of the way. Let's get back and let's get ready for these next 4 games.
Of course, 4 games coming up with the bye week. We'll talk about what our team's going to be doing in the upcoming days here. So defensively, you had some struggles against what they were doing because of system. I mean, how many times you come out? I don't think they ran the same play out of the same formation in back-to-back plays almost the entire game. It was a different formation. They'd come out trying different things, different formations, different lineups, putting the offensive line on one side of the field and running it the other way. I mean, there were so many different things.
They lined them all up one line.
Yeah,
one line, all 11.
It looked like a basketball inbounds play. Everybody lined up, all 11 in a line. And so many different things. And, of course, I talked about it the whole time about the thing that scared me was not so much the running game and what they did, but it's that play action and then the pass that they threw in there. And, of course, they got us on that first play of the second drive because, again, first drive we really shut them down. We'll look at those highlights in a moment, but then it's that big pass play. And that's how they do. And that's how, again, you go out, you hold serve. You give them the football first, you hold serve, and all of a sudden you got the football. If you could have gone down and scored, you really start to flip the script off the top. We didn't score. They come back, and then they get that big play. So, again, defensively did rebound after the big play and continue to play well, I think, throughout the ball game. I know Coach Odom was not extremely happy after the ball game, but, again, a win in conference on the road against a team that looks a little different, that's playing with confidence, you're always going to celebrate those.
Yeah, I think, physically and the way they play and how well they coach, they're one of the top halves in this league by far. They're in that top 5 or 6, I believe, in this league. For sure, maybe top 4, because they are well coached. They give you a lot of problems on offense, and I think defensively they are very physical. They went and beat UT Chattanooga 28-10, man, and did it very convincingly. And they've had some big wins this year, and we knew it was going to be a tough game. I thought offensively, though, we were able to get going, and once Tiger got into rhythm, we were able to score. We said it was going to take 50. We wanted to get 50, and that's what our objective was, and I thought we were on our way to doing that, and I think that helped us win that football game.
Well, Onifer Wellman is one of the people dropping us a note. You too can drop us a note here on our Facebook Live. We welcome those in, also watching on our YouTube channel. Of course, our great crowd here live on location at Catamount Jaxe, just across from the Western Carolina campus. But Onifer says, Dez ran for 5 touchdowns a couple years ago, and then obviously we had 5 touchdown passes that Tehran threw this weekend, a running score in there. And I had to broadcast from the stands. I guess next time they're going to make us broadcast from the parking lot, and we'll see what we get to try to slow us down. But let's talk about Tehran and what he was able to do, taking what he was given at times. Again, the way they changed up defenses as well and ran a few different coverages, ran some deep safeties. I thought they brought a lot of pressure as well. I think they really tried to dial it up and heat us up a little bit as well. Your thoughts on how the offense played against the Bulldog defense?
Well, you got to remember, Tehran's still a young quarterback. He's only played in, 8 games?
Well, 8-1 as a starter.
Yeah, he's 8-1, so 9 games and as a starter. And they threw the book at him, man. I'd seen where they said they stayed up all night trying to figure out a way to stop him.
They said he slept on the floor. Coach Drayton did, yeah.
And they threw everything at him. They pressured him some. They played 3 deep safeties. They brought 6 sometimes. I mean, they changed up coverages almost on every snap. And they'll get him confused every once in a while, but I tell you what, when he gets going, he is so good. He's got such a great natural feel for the game. You can't teach that. You can't coach that. I wish I could say I coached him and all that, but it's a natural ability, God-given ability, but he's been blessed with. And then you add the accuracy and the way he throws the football with great accuracy and how he can hit those deep throws. When they're there, he does not miss them. And so, and then you add the running ability. I mean, he's just got everything. He's been blessed, and we're going to continue. We got to continue to make sure we keep him upright, and our offensive line is taking a lot of pride in that. I love also, Hook, our way our run game's starting to really come now. Markel's been a big key to that. Patch runs really hard. We lost a couple of backs, to some injuries, but, man, Markel's come out of nowhere, and he is becoming that leading back who we can give the ball to 15, 20 times and can really balance our offense up.
And that's what you call a segue, because that's where I was going next,
okay.
Coach, was going to the run game and talk about, Pat Boyd did it in the throw game this week. He caught some big passes out of the backfield. You mentioned Markel running the football. Josh Perry not as involved this week as he was in previous weeks. You mentioned Kamari Reed coming back as Kamari gets back from injury. Branson Adams was about ready to go. Probably could have gone if we had needed, but I think having him an extra bye week before you get in there gives him that extra 2 weeks. So running game really starting to come along, but the depth and the running back by committee. And I love the fact that you've got really 5 or 6 guys that are about the same, but they all bring a little bit different to the table.
Yeah, they do. And I felt very comfortable. People said something about going to get one in the portal. Man, I felt very comfortable after we were able to get Josh Perry out of Orlando as our freshman coming in. I felt like we had a really good stable, like you said, of backs who can all have their strengths and weaknesses. But all, I think, can get the job done. They're all 3 down backs who can do everything. They can protect. They can run routes. They're good in the pass game, and then they can go run the football. So feel very good. The depth is really showing there because we've had some guys banged up. It's good. We're getting, I think, probably both of them back, Kamari and Branson back. And probably getting a couple linemen back. Oh, Aaron, sitting over here. It's time for him to get back off the couch.
Well, he was giving you a hard time. He said, Coach, you're coming in right on time. He goes, you're on time if you're 5 minutes early. You're late if you're on time.
I broke my rule just then. But, yeah, I think he'll be back, which is a big part of our offensive line. Brett's been out for a long time, our left tackle. So, man, we're starting to get some guys back healthy. I think this is a great week for us for our open week. I felt last week we were just dragging a little bit mentally, physically in practice, and just you could tell we were wore down a little bit. So we got through last week on the road with a big win. Now I want to get these guys fresh for this 4-game stretch. So that's what we're going to really focus on.
Yeah, we say hello to Eddie Poot listening in down in the Piedmont Triad. We get Crawford Anderson dropping in. He echoes, says he thinks the bye week's coming at a great time.
Yep.
Jarrett Friday says he really likes the way the offensive line's been playing, starting to get that run game going. Say hello to Jane Morgan, Ronnie Reed, Michael Wilbanks from down in Lilburn, Georgia. Lilburn, Georgia, home of, I want to say one of our former baseball players, Ross Heffley, was from down in Lilburn area. And then, let's see, Gerald Love. Jerry's dropping us a note here. And we mentioned Anna for Wilmuth and Tobe Childers, Tobe the Bomb Childers, dropping us a note as well. Can appreciate all that you do for us, Tobe, and Bob Saban. Of course, Bob hosts our Tracking the Cats podcast. We'll get to more of those as we go forward. What do you say we look at some highlights and watch that first half of this ball game? Western Carolina on the road at the Citadel. An absolutely beautiful day. Got to see a good bit of it here. And, of course, Catamount's Kerwin Bell winning the toss and giving the football to the opposition. And here they come right out of the gates with an option play, true option type of run, a little speed option here out of the shotgun. We'll play fake and then get it out, but again, fitting it up really well. And one of the few plays we'll get to see Hayward McQueen.
That was a big difference too. Hayward went out right after this, man, with a toe injury. I think we might get him back, having an open week. You know, Hayward is what puts our defense together. He makes a lot of the calls. Him and Jordan, they were both playing at a big high, so losing him early was big for us. I thought Ryan did a really good job though. Ryan came in. McGinnis, who's from Atlanta, Georgia. He came in, was from App State. We got him out of the portal, and I thought Ryan played really well. But, you know, it's always good to have that fourth-year guy who's been around of our team and been a leader of our team. So we got to get Hayward back this next week.
Well, you talked about wanting to start fast on offense, and we did the exact opposite. We didn't get anything really going. But you see here early on the extra pressure, bringing that on third down, on third and long. Again, short gain on the first down play, second down play, and then next thing you know, they get us for a chop block, being engaged and going low and having to punt it away. But I thought Brantley only had to punt 3 times officially in the ball game. But again, he helped flip the field for you.
Yeah, we're working on that this week, starting faster offensively. That sack there should not have happened. I mean, it's a very easy thing that we picked up all week and just didn't execute to start the game. Now, after that, we pick it up every time. So we got to come out of the box a lot faster on offense. But they came back, like you said, we really had them 3 and out, and then they came back and hit this little play action pass, and we suck up on the run. Trying to worry about our option principles and let a guy get wide open. We can't do that.
Yeah, so it's got to be one of the toughest things as a defensive back is understanding your job in the run game, but also being able to keep in mind that you got to stop the pass. And I thought Dominic Dutton, he almost broke one multiple times.
Man, he had 2 or 3 that he almost got to the safety on or got to the kicker on. Kicker was a good tackler.
Oh, he really was. Had one of the bigger hits in the ball game.
He did.
But again, you talk about the run-throw game, and then Teron using his feet and taking what's there. And again, I like the fact that he's tumbling forward, not letting him get big hits on him. But you're moving the offense, moving the football here. And again, finding Malik, who had a big day, his first 100-yard receiving game, one of 2 receivers to go over the 100-yard receiving mark.
Yeah, it's great to see Malik. He's been working, and it's good to see him have a big day. Really turns straight up the field like we're teaching, and uses his great speed to get down the sideline.
Yeah, of course, Malik was almost untouchable during preseason, and then back underneath here, a nice little look to Painter, and almost found his way in. But
this was frustrating right here. We down to the 1, and the official was trying to get our receiver to move, and then we had motion on top of that. Well, you can't have 2 guys in motion. Backed us up, but, man, it tells you how good our offense is and how good Tiger is. We're backed up here, and we still go down and score and get 7 points right here.
So, again,
great throw by Tiger.
Yeah, well, how about that run, the throw, and then fitting it into a small window, and a great job. Great concentration for Malik to get that touchdown. That's one of the first ones we'll see. Not the only time we'll see Teron hit to the corner and find that pylon here in this ball game. So, again, you get it tied up here 7-7 at the kind of the midway point of that first quarter, and you kind of get to feel the way this game is going and going to play. And they really had no part of the run and the return game. They were just take the ball at the 25 and go for it. I don't think they had many, if any, kick returns in the ball game. But, again, the multiple running backs in the backfield setting up. Had you seen that kind of formation with the shotgun and the 2 backs on either side?
Yeah, they showed that. There was just a lot of other things that they done to us. But, yeah, we were ready for that. And I thought we played everything that they had showed up until this point. We played really well.
Yeah,
if you notice, I mean, that's a great hit by Samari right there,
huge hit
on their quarterback.
Yeah, he got stuck on that play pretty good. And then one of the few times we went after a punt, didn't get there, but It also
made
forces
him shank it.
Yeah, and that's one of the best punters. That probably is the best punter in the league by definition coming into the ball game. And here's where you start to get things going in your direction now, and you go over top and you find Josiah Thomas, tight end. He's been a big part of your offense.
Yeah, Josiah just gives us a really good mismatch in the middle of the field right there. He's great at catching the football and turning it up, get yardage. His best football's ahead of him, too. He's a true freshman. Here, he got hit. Tiger got hit as he was throwing that ball, so he didn't get a lot on it.
Well, that's one of the only five incompletions he had on the day.
Yeah, and then just had nowhere to go here. Gets out of the pocket, and they do a good job of getting him on the ground. So we have to punt this one here. Steven does a really good job getting it down. Well, it goes in the end zone.
Well, that was going to be, again, if we had not slowed up on the guy, might have had a chance to get that one down. But then back to the typical run game here. That's just one of those easy run plays up the middle.
Yeah, we didn't fit that good. Worried about the triple. They hit us with a belly play. That's the only time they got any yards off that one play, but that was a big run right there.
And
you see we overrun it.
Everybody
big time.
running to the outside, expecting it to go to the edge, and then they pop it up the middle, and that heads-up play by the Citadel.
I thought
advantage of it.
Yeah, I thought our D tackles and D ends really plugged the inside from that moment on. They didn't beat us down, in A gaps and B gaps. They did beat us on the C gaps some runs with their quarterbacks, but I thought our D linemen really controlled the inside part of the play, like right here. I thought we really played physical in there.
So you see Big Jalil Anderson in there, part of it. And how about that? You got Ryan McKinnis. You mentioned him coming in.
Yep.
Again, a play made by Anderson helps make that play by pushing it to the outside, to where the help is. And a good speed option here.
There's just angles, man. We just are not very good. We got to get better. We're going to work on tackling drills again this week. We've worked on it all year. But we don't really take a lot of time. Just angles, taking the proper angles. Some of these quarterbacks are so fast. You got to be able to take the proper angles to be able to make the plays.
And forcing up the middle there, and 3rd and 5, trying to get it into the end zone, and then they kind of scored free, and that was just a very patient run.
It's a good C-gap run right there. They have the extra blocker with the quarterback, and they I don't know if they've ever pitched it. They hadn't pitched it, I don't think, the whole time. But
hardly.
You have to play that because he will pitch it. So
well, I think we're doing a good job. What I noticed in the ball game was, you see right there, you had a guy on the pitch man a lot of times, and so if he pitches it, you got somebody right there, especially when it's Samari Dukes. And here's another good return by Dutton, getting you good field position. Had great field position to start just about every drive here offensively in the first half.
Yeah, Coach Webb, I think, is doing a really good job with our special teams. We were starting to really gain a lot of yardage, hidden yardage, I call it, in the return game, the kickoff game. All those things, the punt game, we're starting to really gain a lot of yardage. And that's hidden yardage that makes a big difference as far as field position.
I'm starting to see Markel Townsend.
But you're starting to see Markel's really starting to get going. We're starting to get him the ball. And, man, he's starting to make some really good plays for us.
I tell you, Coach Drayton right there on the bottom of the screen, he really works the sidelines. I love watching him. He's really good at that. And then, again, Dickens just trying to step through, and he makes the first guy miss. And it doesn't get much out of it, but gets it back to the line of scrimmage. So good job there. And if a running back's going to play for Kerwin Bell, he better, by God, catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah,
we learned that with Kenny Benjamin year one.
Yeah, we feel like that's one of your biggest mismatches in a game is your tight end and your running backs against linebackers. So we really try to take advantage, and so we recruit backs who can catch the ball and run routes out of the backfield. We want those versatile guys. So all our guys can do that.
And Townsend, Markel moving the pile with the offensive line, and how about how about the block there? He gets the block. We don't get rid of the football, but how about Townsend picking up the blitz out of the backfield as well? So he does a great job. But here we talk about him catching the ball out of the backfield, and that's just a great open field tackle out there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Tiger got to him quick. We just a little short. We went for it right here on 4th down and 2. First time under center, Hook. That might be the first one in a long time, but we threw a touchdown pass. We might have to go back to that. I know everybody's always talking about going underneath the center on short down.
I saw Raymond Dillard of the Catamount Club in the background celebrating that touchdown here. Because they argue that he stepped out of bounds and trying to argue something to get him to go look at it. They did not see it. Nice job by Josiah Thomas.
Josiah, that's a true freshman.
Oh.
He really cut his route off because they were covered, and he went back the other way, and Tiger's so good at seeing that.
Well, he had time.
They sort of improvised.
And had time to see it. And here's another great open field tackle. Talking about guys making plays for you. That's Marseille. And here's that formation where, again, they have all the linemen on one side of the field and run it the other way.
Yeah.
And a great job by JPL coming up to make a tackle for you.
But you see where we're getting tackles, man, inside the 20 on our kickoff team. Our kickoff team's really playing. Coach Webb's doing a really good job with those guys.
And stopping the inside run.
Good.
That's always key.
Yeah, the D tackles were just dominant inside. Here's where they hurt us is on the edge right here, and we got to do a better job. We know that. Little that's because we were preparing for the option.
Well,
so
that's where option teams
back.
get you so much, and he never looked to pitch it. Had he looked to pitch it, I think we had it covered, but the quarterback keeps it. That's where he's had some issues. But we do force him to punt. Still a 14-14 ball game midway through this quarter, and this time he gets a good punt. That's the kind of punt you're expecting out of him every time. After he had the shank earlier, talking about planting the punter. And
we blocked the wrong guy here. We got to block the guy that made the play there. Should have been blocked. Come back, though, and this is our one time. If he throws the interception, it's got to be a tip ball. I mean, it went through it was a little high, but it went through our tight end's hands. And he throws his first pick in about 200-something attempts. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's just huge. And then, of course, a big hit. Sterling takes a hit there.
Yeah.
But back to the option game here. And this, again, still have yet to pitch it. The pitch guy's wide open. Probably could have pitched that and gotten the first down.
But because they were running so many of these plays in the alley here, Samari had, I think, over 10 tackles. Ken, what about Ken Moore,
he had
man?
10 tackles.
He was all over the field. They called him the Honey Badger, I think is what the head coach coach called him that. And then Jordan Thompson, man, he's just a tackle machine. He's been big time for us. We found him in the portal from Charlotte, and he was at Middle Tennessee State, and we're really glad we've got him on our team. He's a big leader for us.
Yeah, we're looking at a fumble potentially there and seeing if he had dropped the ball before he hit the ground. I think they ruled that he couldn't see anything else here. And then the quarterback run, and again, just over-pursuing a bit and just not being able to get there. And all of a sudden, Bulldogs back up, but bring it back because they got called for a penalty. And we know what that's all about. Then look into the run, into the pass game, and had that bottled up nicely. If you thought a little bit more, Ken Moore might have had another pick.
Yeah, do a good job of the penalty, holding them to a field goal right here. So this is a good job by our defense.
A long field goal on that. That's after, again, sudden change. That's after the interception. They got the ball basically in the red zone.
Yeah.
But you hold them to just the 3 points. That's the kind of things we've talked about, that next play mentality for your team right now. And, of course, now we'll get the ball at the 25 and looking to try to get something going here last 5 minutes. Did you think you might get 2 possessions out of this with 5 minutes left in the half?
Well, that's what I've started doing. That's deferring, man. I think you can make up a lot of ground here and get separation with our offense. We want to try to score before half, and then we get it coming out the second half. Now you get 2 possessions before the other team has a chance to touch the ball. So, we're going to be aggressive in this area. Right before halftime, we're going to try to go down and get points, and we did a good job of doing that.
A little swing out of the backfield. They brought pressure and a good job to go with the screen play. And how about Pat Boyd just bouncing off of Bulldogs to get positive gain for you?
He is a tough customer, man. I wonder how sore he is out there again because he takes some big shots, and he's only about 170 pounds. But
look at that.
Great job again, him finding a way to get open, and Tiger just doing a really good job extending the play.
Yeah, play fake, and you get it to Markell, trying to find some running room. And it doesn't take one dog. It takes about 4 or 5 to finally get him to the ground. So here you are at the 2-minute timeout looking to drive. And, again, at this point we're thinking, let's get at least 1 score out of it, which we do right here on the very next play, and that's Markell Townsend finding it off the right tackle for the touchdown. And now you've got what's going to be the 21-17 as Marcus Trout punches through the extra point. But, again, right off the edge here, good clean-out block by Carney to really set that thing up.
Great blocking right there by the whole line up front, man. Great call by Ryland there going in. That gets us, up 3. And now we've got a chance to or we're up 4? I don't know what we're up.
Yeah, it's 21-17 after the Trout PAT. And
so here you just sort of, you're seeing are they ready to give up and go in the locker room, or are they trying to be aggressive? So they run the ball here, and, we let it play ourselves out. We got plenty of time. We don't take about a minute to score. So, I don't want to call a timeout too early, but they throw the ball there, which is incomplete, which really helped us. That stopped the clock. Yep. And then here on 3rd down, as soon as we stopped them, we call timeout. We got a 1:10 now to go get another score.
How about the Honey Badger there on that play? Again, the option coming all the way through, and then another shanked punt here. This was another one that was off the side of the foot that goes out of bounds. It bounces off a couple of his teammates. So now you got the ball really plus yardage at the 50 going in. And here you try to force it into again, double coverage there.
Yeah, it was good defense by them, but we come right back, man, with a great throw by Tiger. James Tyre, who's had an unbelievable year, man.
112 yards receiving on the game. Right back to him again. That goes
Josiah.
into Josiah.
Yeah.
So here you are, 25 seconds clock. I thought we had a first down, and they didn't stop the clock at one point, at least that I thought. And here's Tiger. How about that? Just to be able to take it and understand time and understanding space and go ahead and take it out of bounds.
Yep. Throw that away. Throw that away. Give up on it. I don't think he thought the guy was that fast, but he's got to make sure he gets that out of his hand. Great throw. Look at this throw.
I mean that's he threw the ball before Tyre was out of his break.
With touch. I mean, that's unbelievable.
And watch Tyre. He's not even looking back yet, and the ball's already in the air. Then he turns around, and the ball's in the air, and it drops right to him.
Yeah.
So here you are, Coach, a decision to make. You're inside. You decide with 5 seconds left, let's go ahead and get the points. Let's get the field goal.
Yeah.
Tough decision to take it out of Tiger's hand.
Well,
right?
You'd want it almost at 6 or 7, but 5, I thought being that close, we could throw a quick pass, which was there'll be I don't need to say that because somebody might be listening, but next week's opponent. But no, we was going to throw a quick throw.
Yeah.
And then if we didn't get it, kick the field goal because we had extra time out. So, but when we lined up, the defense they gave us was we weren't going to be able to get out of our hand quick, and I didn't want to waste that opportunity to go get 3 points right there. So we went ahead and took the field goal.
So it gives you a 7-point lead. Again, you've not played your best, but you played good enough to have a lead going into halftime. What was your message to the guys when you walked into the locker room here at halftime in Charleston?
Well, we had a lot of adjustments we needed to make defensively, especially because they had showed so many different things that we hadn't seen, to get ready for the second half. Make sure our defense understood what's the few adjustments we needed to make. Offensively, we just had to not hurt ourselves. Make sure we protect for Tiger, and we felt like we could score as many as we needed to. And so, my message was we signed up for 60 minutes. That's what we've been preaching around here. We knew it was going to be on the road. You got to go play 60 minutes. You don't play 59. You play all 60, and let's go out there and do that. Let's start fast the second half. And I thought that was a big key for us is that we started. Well, I think we had 10 points there right before halftime, Hook. And then we added another 7. That's 17 points. They didn't even touch the ball in between.
Right.
Basically, yeah, they did 3 plays. But that 17 points really separated us, helped us win the game.
For sure. We'll look at that second half as we continue, as we get you ready for, again, a night in the Wii going on over inside the Ramsey Center. That's coming up at 7:30 tonight. We'll be off the air around 7 or before. Try to get over there to catch a night in the Wii. Basketball coming up, presented by Prospect. Hope to see you there if you're within the sound of our voice. And we hope that you are able to make it out. And then, of course, we got basketball on the boundary coming up on Wednesday. That over at the Peaches Squirrel Sports and Recreation Complex in Cherokee. So basketball season right around the corner. Get your tickets online at catamountsports.com. We'll continue with Catamount Football Weekly, presented by Stanberry Insurance. On the other side of this timeout, we'll look at that second half as Western Carolina goes into the bye week, getting ready for the Chattanooga and the stretch run. We'll talk more about that as we continue. Back to Catamount Jaxe, just across from the Western Carolina campus. We'll do that on the other side of this timeout. Don't go anywhere.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the War Horses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Welcome back to Catamount Jaxe, just across from the Western Carolina campus. Social House in the front, axe throwing in the back, alcohol and axes. Love it. Got to have it next time you come to Western North Carolina and see the Catamounts play. Hope you'll make an opportunity to come over and see the fine folks here. Thank them for what they do, for all their support of Catamount Athletics, and of course their support of our coaches shows, and of course our Catamount Football Weekly, presented by Stanberry Insurance. Stanberry Insurance, 4 locations across Western North Carolina, an independently owned insurance agency serving the Southeast. Again, Silva, Waynesville, Highland, and Clyde, the 4 locations, and online at stanberry-ins.com. Stanberry-ins.com. Been back in the Catamounts for over 45 years with Stanberry Insurance. Say hello to Calendra Watson tuning in. Also, we've got, Don Moore dropping us a note. Charles Cullowhee dropped us a note. We saw Bob Saban earlier. We saw our good friend John Stark drop us a note. Tobe Childers is tuned in today. Matt Cook, Crawford Anderson, Bob Folsom. We'll give you that injury update. Of course, we mentioned one, those being Hayward McQueen was in a walking boot today. Would hope to get him back with probably the most misnomered injury in all of athletics, turf toe. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if you ever had it, my goodness, excruciating. Do say hello to Jim Bullins as well. Heard from Jerry Love. A lot of folks dropping us notes here on our Facebook page. So, all right, Coach, right before you took the field to start the second half, I know you told the guys to play the music, right? I think you might have to get a boombox. Maybe
we got one, man. We got a big one.
Well, what I'm saying is,
small,
what I'm saying is maybe we get somebody to put it on their shoulder and carry it out with the team to the sideline. That's what that basketball manager that they got down at NC State now from McNeese, our good friend Will Wade, that he's got his manager that does that. Maybe we get Andrew to carry the boombox around and get TJ, one of the equipment guys, to carry that around all the time. I'm not sure. I guess Andrew has his hands full. He's the get-back guy for you, I think. He's out there watching that. Well, what was your message to the guys? Obviously you're up 21-17 at halftime, or you get an opportunity to kind of build on that here in the second half.
Well, we're getting the ball first. We got to go down and score. Offensively, just continue to play well on offense. Defensively, hey, they've shown us a lot. Okay, we got to make some plays in the second half though to win this football game. It's going to be a 60-minute game, and let's go out and just don't give them anything easy. If they earn it, they earn it. But let's make sure we make it tough on them. And then offense just continue to play the way they've been playing. And
we played some music, and we took the field here. Let's look at that second half again, 24-17. I think I misspoke a moment ago. Catamounts up 24-17 to start the second half and to get the football back. And I tell you what, Dutton almost gets this one, too. This is where they get the big hit, I think, by the kicker.
Right there.
Just a great form tackle by a kicker.
Yeah, he did a good job. But we come back in a great field position, okay, and I think we go down here and score on this possession. Really good job. They blitzed us, and Tiger does a good job getting it out of his hand, getting it to our playmaker. And Pat, man, he's just
guys did he bounce off?
He is a tough runner, I tell you.
Hey, bounced off a bunch of different guys there, and they're looking downfield, and we're able to take some shots. What was the difference in that? You mentioned they played some 3 high, they played some 2 high, they played some zone. What was the difference in that and what Wofford ran? Because I think we were able to find some spaces in this zone that we didn't find against Wofford per se.
Well, Wofford runs it 100% of the time, the same defense. I mean, they just good at it. Citadel ran it some, but they mixed in other coverages, and when they did, we got a chance to maybe take a shot or two. But we're just going to take what they give you. We want you to play deep, so it's easy for us, man. This guy here, he's a magician as far as just taking what they give him. He's very accurate.
How about that throw?
Really good job by him just staying there, and James.
And Tyler getting both feet in. That's good. That's good in the league, Coach.
That's just a really good play by both of those two guys.
And, of course, he's going to argue with the official, and it was under review.
Yeah, they called it no touchdown. His feet were in, 2 feet were in.
I mean, 2 feet in the blue. I don't know what else you can do. But either way, you've stretched it out 31-17. And, again, I think this is where you're talking.
Here's where we want to just step on their throat.
Right. This is where you want that.
Stop them, get it back. Let's go score again. Let's go score again. Let's get to 60, man. It's just frustrating right now. And, again, we're going to get back to that this week because,
quarterback run.
Quarterback run.
Quarterback scramble.
Quarterback run, the option. We just never could get our handle on it. And we made adjustments, just never could get it handled the way we needed to.
Yeah, good pressure by Caleb Fisher on the previous play.
Here they go again with the lead option.
Yeah, but it's an option play with no actual option because the quarterback never looked to pitch it. But it's these plays right here where you've got them kind of hemmed in. Good job by JT forcing the incomplete pass. Good pressure by Jordan Thompson.
I mean, this is 3rd and 15 right here too. And Ken played a really good game, but you can't give that up. Ken knows better than that. But it got to 4th down, and look at this. I mean.
I'm not sure who he was throwing it to. But
I think their offensive guy grabbed our guy.
I mean, there's a push right there, and there's a push right there. And, I mean, he basically was face guarding Ken Moore.
Basically.
Yeah, I didn't believe with that one, but
whatever. You give them a new life right there on 4th down, and they come down here and score. I wish the referees just let us play football. That's what good ones do. They just let you play football and determine it yourself. You don't bail people out this 3rd and 15 or 4th and 15.
Yeah, that was a great play by Micah coming in on that option play. It was a short yardage, but you're able to keep him from getting a big gain, but bouncing off of guys and just being very physical. We knew this was going to be a physical football game, especially up front, and then they just outnumbered us.
Samari had a great, but he missed that tackle right there. He's got to be able to make that tackle he had 10 or something tackles, didn't he? Well,
yeah, Samari had 10,
plus
and Ken had 10. And
but right there, he
JT
just
12.
overcommitted. He's right there, got him in the hole. He's got to make that play.
And then again, Dutton just, again, right there. Great bleed block by Markel and able to get to the outside. And Markel might have been the one that tripped him up on the play, in fact.
Yeah, got back to the kicker, man. We were almost ready to break those. Here's Markel, man. He started going to work now from here on to the end of the game. He really started running the ball really well for us.
And they called us for a holding. I'm not sure.
Where's the hold?
I guess the hold might have been there.
I don't know.
After the guy had already gone past. I'm not sure. But anyway, you go right back to it. And the mentality's got to be, all right, fine. Now we just get just 10 more yards, we get the game.
Yeah.
Again, there's one of the 5 incomplete passes, but then they call us for a penalty or a false start, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we moved there.
A little bit of a hitch right there.
Hamby moved left guard. We got to correct those, man. We had 3 or 4 again this week. We've been trying to correct those, but we do make a lot of shifts. We do all this motion.
Yeah.
We have all this communication.
And how about this
before the snap? But we got to make sure.
Yeah, but how about the fake punt there?
Yeah.
Give it. First of all, you give a tip to your punter for letting it the big acting job, and then how about Isaac McClellan, who looked to be injured on Thursday's practice, left Thursday's practice late injured, but comes up with a play there, and then you take the shot over the top.
That was big time. That series right there really helped us win this football game. You know, Curry, he always comes to me with the fakes, and he was he had such a conviction about that fake. He just talked me into it was going to work, and so it was a one-point game or one possession game.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to have something to get us over the top here. And I said, hey, man, go for it. Let's go for it. And he was right, man. It opened up and gave us a chance to go score another touchdown.
Little toss back there, but you saw Darian Anderson was right there almost with a hit on the quarterback. And, again, you have a youngster back there.
Yeah, we got Coco back there who's a redshirt freshman who's, really going to be a good player. Him and Bo are brothers. But, just a young guy overcommitting.
That's a great play there. Jamari on that last play stayed with the pitch man. That allowed Ken Moore to come up. JPL had the pitch man, and he stayed with him even though the ball wasn't pitched. I think that's what really helped again, staying at home. But now you're carrying this into the fourth quarter, and then they bust one here. What a patient run, though. You give them credit on that here, on a 4th down and 1. And really they're just saying, we're just going to line up, snap it to the quarterback, and run. That's basically all they did here on this drive, a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, made some plays, but when they had that extra guy, the quarterback was a part of this, and we had trouble, trying to stop him. And they get down here, they would do a good job. Samari right there, really good tackle right there. It's I think it's 4th down, man. Fourth down, just a bunch of 3rd and long and 4th downs that we did not make the plays. We're there, we know what's coming. We told them it's the load option. That's the only play they had that could work. And we just didn't make those plays.
And Dutton getting running a start, this one from the 10-yard line. But I think the high arc on that one, the hang time, which you don't normally talk about on kickoffs, was what made that play from not having an opportunity to get a bigger return since he fielded it at the 10-yard line. But, again, just trying to go back to work here, and I thought that could have been a pass interference.
Yeah, the one down the field on ice was a pass interference, but that wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Are you kidding me?
That's what I thought. Now they're going to get us instead for a false start, maybe a little bit quick start there. Maybe I'm sure if they got it on the line or if it might have been on our receiver out there, but then
we get backed up here because of penalties. Again, we got to be more efficient. We had to punt the football.
And another line drive punt. This is another good one, and it got the old Brantley bounce here, and he thought about running up and making a grab, but good coverage there. Quintero's there, Emmett Rhodes is there, and how about Nas out there as well?
Nas, a true freshman. We've carried him. He's probably trying to play him four games and then redshirt him. But he's from Charlotte. Runs 4.3. He can flat out run. He's a physical player too.
So again, now this it's a big physical quarterback. This is kind of reminiscent of the Gardner-Webb quarterback as far as the big physicality, and to be able to run the triple option, you got to have that. I think.
There's the load option. We stop it there, but again, we do a good job here.
That's where
there was a couple of times where we got the interception we threw, and then here we had to punt it. Our defense went out there and did a good job. They always kept us within a 1 touchdown lead, which was good.
Yeah, backed it up because of a delay of game penalty, and Tire does a good job hanging on to that. And here now a chance to try to go back and separate, and again wide open in the middle. When they start dropping everybody back, they take that. I read somewhere to beat the 3-high zone, you just got to run all goes and then run your running back into the flat. That's how you beat it. But you got to be able to get it open.
Yeah, we get you call some plays.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Tiger, man, with his
guys
feet.
making plays.
Great run by Markel. Here's Markel again, just getting tough yards, man. He's one of those kids. everybody else will get 2 or 3 yards, he'll get 4 or 5. He just gets those extra 2 or 3 that makes a difference.
And at the same time, the clock continuing to run on those type of situations. But how about this one? I'm not sure. That probably was a little pass interference. I think they do throw the flag on this one.
They knocked him out of bounds.
I mean, somebody said, well, he caught it out of bounds. Well, he caught the ball, first of all, so you can't say it was incatchable. But they also pushed him out of bounds before the ball got there. So I think that's kind of what you call definition of pass interference. And then you get Dutton involved again. He's had the one catch earlier in the ball game and the runs in the kick game, but then you run him on the end around, and you liked it so much you're going to go back to him here on this next play. I think not this one, but the next one after you get Josiah Thomas, get you inside the 20-yard line, and in the back of your mind, out there on an island, you got Dutton just waiting.
Yeah, we're trying to run clock a little bit just to help our defense, and this is 3rd down. We have a procedure there on 3rd down, but we come back, and Tiger just makes a great throw here. This is
out of a bunch formation. Watch this, in, out, and he's all alone. Nobody there, and it makes a nice. That's a great concentration because you realize the ball's floating up there. You had a couple of defenders running right to you, but Dutton has done a great job. Somebody wanted to call him a track guy, but I'm pretty sure he's a good football player as well.
He's a tough football player. I've been so impressed with him and the way he plays and how hard he plays and how tough he is. Tiger, man, going to your left like that and making a touch throw like that.
Oh, man.
People don't realize how tough that is.
Well, here you are now, Coach, inside of 3 minutes. You know they need 2 scores. All you need is 1 stop to get off the field. But, man, how about this? Just quarterback runs.
We got contained. Our guy's not to contain. He's supposed to be outside containing him. That's the only way they don't beat us is the quarterback running the ball. He ain't going to beat us throwing it. So why go inside containing the way you're supposed to? This is just what aggravates me. We got it. There's some things that they did that we had to make some adjustments to. But right here, we're guessing on the run, and our safety should be over the top. There he is. We're running, and luckily they dropped the ball. But there's some things we got to make sure these last 4 games, or we not going to win them. And so that's the honest God truth. We got to play better, smarter, quit making crazy mistakes that we know. Right here, we told them this was coming, a sprint out, and we just don't get there. We take 2 steps to the left and then try to tackle the quarterback.
It looked like, again, they kind of did almost with JT that time. He's on the edge, and instead of going after the quarterback, he stayed with the man out of the backfield.
No, JT's got the guy out of the backfield.
Exactly.
And then the other linebackers got to get to the quarterback, and you got to get there. I mean, if you take bad steps, you'll never get there, and that's the problem. We're guessing too much.
And then Markel Townsend right here.
What about this?
A heady play, a very unselfish play, could have easily taken the second touchdown.
I think I would have scored. This is unselfish.
Yeah, unselfish, but I think
everybody wanted 50. We always say we want 50, but you know what? That's being unselfish. That's being smart football. We told him we only needed 1 first down, and the game's over.
Yeah, but as you told me after the game, you know what? If he goes ahead and scores there, then you don't have to worry about running any more plays. You don't have to worry about that kneel down. You just take the touchdown, and you're up 2 more scores.
Yeah, but the only thing, Hook, is if you did score and you kick off and they run it back, all of a sudden they get an onside kick. That's the only way they can beat you.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? They can't beat you this way.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to look at it. But I think discretion, better part of valor, a very unselfish play made by Markel Townsend.
Very smart.
A very heady play and a very just smart play to make there to go ahead and take it. And obviously, what were your words before you played the music in the locker room? And I kept you out of the locker room for a good long while. You were talking with Coach Drayton after the game. You were talking with our athletics director, Kyle Pfeiffer. I caught you there on the sidelines. You got to wave to the booth up there or to the table outside the press box where we were set up with radio. But what was your message to the guys when you went in that locker room?
Well, big-time win, man, to go on the road against a team that's playing really well. They had on 2-game winning streak or something, and they'd played – like I said, they've beat some teams pretty handily, and to go in there and to beat those guys, we didn't play our best. We know that. But, coming off the Furman game, going on the road, getting that win was big. It kept our streak alive. What is it, 5 in a row now? I wanted to get to this point right here. Like I said, I started feeling my team being drained a little bit mentally and physically last week in practice. And so this is coming at the perfect time. I was hoping we could get this one behind us, and we did. So I was just proud of the way we fought, the way even though we didn't play our best, we kept believing in each other and trusting each other, and we found a way to get it done. So now got a big open week. Let's get rejuvenated, energized, and go make a big 4-game run here.
You talked about it after the Wofford win of being a game where we didn't play our best. A lot of that had to do with the opponent. Wofford's playing extremely well. Of course, they made a big win this past week over Furman. And you mentioned Citadel. They're playing a lot better, probably one of the top 4 or 5 teams in our league right now and getting better, especially with the youth that Coach Drayton has and the way those guys are playing. But you mentioned it being a crossroads type of win at Wofford. You come back and have a big win against Furman. Then you have this one, another tough one on the road. And you're going to get those shots now. You've got the target on your back now as being one of those top 2 teams in the league with us and Mercer, the only unbeatens. But, again, this is kind of another one of those kind of crossroads type of win, I think, the build and really solidify that locker room.
Well, anytime you can just continue to roll and win, like now we're at 5 in a row, it just, to me, I've seen a lot of teams just get better just by confidence, just by getting on a roll. And we needed this to keep the momentum going. And so the big-time win to go win on the road like that against a good, well-coached football team and to do it right before the break because, guys are probably saying, let's get to the break. So we still kept our focus. We went and did what we had to do to win it on the road, get a win on the road, and now we can go home, come here this week, and we can work on some things. There's a lot of things we got to get better at. We got to peak at the right time, man. I tell them we've made a big jump throughout this whole camp and first 3 games from where we went to now. We've made a few high jump because they wanted to. They wanted to get better. We asked them to get better on certain things. They have done that, and so we've seen that. We demanded it from them. They have done it for us. Now, though, we got to make that final jump to where we peak at the right time. And we got 4 big-time games coming, and we got to play our best football to go win them.
Well, Coach, you talked about the bye week coming up, and a lot of times we don't call it an off week. We do call it a bye week because it's a get-better week for our football team. Time to get healthy, time to concentrate on yourself a little more. You mentioned that you're going to drop in some of the preliminary parts of that Chattanooga game plan. Chattanooga coming up next, but you got Chattanooga. Can't lose focus on the Mocs. They're playing extremely well. Comeback win over ETSU in their rivalry game. Then you got Mercer at home with ETSU at home before you finish up on the road at VMI. 4 big ones that could easily be stumbling blocks, and that's why we got to keep the focus going. You talk about that schedule coming up here once we get into November now with Chattanooga on the road, Mercer, and then ETSU at home before November 22nd wraps it up with VMI. But when you look at that schedule and you look at that what's coming up, what are you working on in this bye week? Is it a get healthy week, or is I guess it's part of that, but a lot of it is just being able to go back and concentrate on yourself and get back to those fundamentals?
Well, one thing I'm really focused on is to make sure they come back a fresh football team next week. So we're going to give them off. We gave them off Sunday, which I never do. But I had a bet with them, and they won the bet because they won the game and they played extremely well. So we gave them off Sunday, gave them off today, Monday. Now we'll go back. We'll work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll introduce the game plan. We'll already have it in place this week, and then we'll give them off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come back Monday for class, and we'll practice Monday night. So I'm giving them about 3 or 4 days. I just want them to get away, clear their mind. When they come back Monday, I want them to be a refreshed football team, a team that's hungry to go play football again. And then we'll already have the game plan in, so we'll reintroduce it next week. And I think we'll go play our best game of the year against Chat, which is going to take, man. They always are tough. It's always been a dogfight, so we're signed up for 60 minutes. We better go play all 60, and I think we will. I think we'll play our best game of the year.
That's one of those warning to the guys. If they don't come back on Tuesday ready to go after Sunday, Monday off, they're going to be more days off under Kerwin Bell. He's going to have them ready to go. But, again, Coach, we look forward to that. Again, a great opportunity coming up. Looking forward.
I don't give many days off.
No, you don't. Well, I mean, you never take a day off.
They were surprised, so surprised after that game. They said, what? When I told them that. They couldn't believe I said that we're getting a day off.
You must have heard the commandant down at the Citadel give liberty to the upperclassmen or something, and that kind of influenced you to get a little day off or something. I'm not sure. But, again, a big win over the Citadel. Any win's a big one. Site of your first win was down in Low Country, and then you got a nice little Gatorade bath on that one. I remember, I think that might have been in the locker room we even got the Gatorade bath. And then, of course, second 5-game winning streak that you've had here at Western Carolina, looking to make it 6. But a tough challenge coming up against Chattanooga, of course. We'll be back with you next Monday here at Catamount Football Weekly, live on location at Catamount Jaxe. We'll check the time. I think you're practicing during the normal time. We might be an hour later next week. We'll have that information out for you as soon as we know 100% what that schedule looks like. Todd Shealy keeps me up to date, like he does you. Todd keeps your schedule. He's the handler outside of game days, and then it's Andrew. Andrew's your handler on game days, I like to say.
Somebody's got to take care of me.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to that.
I get in trouble if I don't.
Well, Coach, wish you guys obviously a good restful week. A week to get ready.
I wasn't on the refere's too bad there, not though. I was sort of calmer.
Well, you were just you didn't get on them. You were just saying, man, I just wish they would let us go play. So that's a little different, mellowing or something.
I'm trying to
see what happens when you take a day off, Coach.
Well, I'm trying to take that approach, to be nice to them.
Well, either way, we look at it. A big one coming up against Chattanooga. We'll talk about the Mocs next week. And Coach, we'll wish you guys the best as we look forward to that. What do you say we get over to the Ramsey Center? It's time for a night in the Wii coming up at 7:30. If you're within Jackson County, come on down to the Ramsey Center. A big week. Big week starting tonight. Of course, we got Night in the Wii. We'll be over in Cherokee on the Qualla boundary with basketball on the boundary on Wednesday. Volleyball action inside the friendly confines of Ingalls Court at the Ramsey Center coming up on Thursday and Friday. And, of course, we wish the tennis team the best of luck. They go to the new SoCon playoff. It's an individual thing. And then they'll go to team play in the spring, a little different look there. And, of course, wrapping it up the regular season on Sunday, women's soccer. Soccer's locked in, one of the top 2 seeds already, an opportunity to finish strong. They got to try to beat Chattanooga this weekend to keep their chances of winning a regular season share alive. We'll have to get a win and some help, but it looks like we'll have one of those top 2 seeds. We'll be hosting SoCon soccer coming up here in Western North Carolina as well this year, again, for Chad Miller and his staff. So, Coach, wish you the best of luck during this week, during this off week. Get some guys healthy. Again, you look maybe get Branson Adams back, potentially Jalen Trezado, Kamari Reed perhaps
Jalen
back.
Trezado, Jai Boyd. Yeah, 2 of our offensive linemen.
Yeah, we're talking about Aaron Sanez and Brett Gray looking to come back. So
there's
there's some of your injury updates. Again, coming out of the game. Came out of the game pretty good.
Hopefully Hayward back.
Yeah, Hayward's a big one.
Thank goodness we'll hopefully get him back with a week off, so that's still be big for us.
I know. I promised Bob Folsom an injury update coming out of the Citadel, so that's some of the guys we're looking at getting back. I don't think we lost anybody in that game that went out that I noticed.
Gino was out, which would have been a big help playing that alley. He's a bigger nickel guy that helps us. Him and Ken play, and man, he's a tackler. That would have helped us. He had a concussion from the game before. But he should be back now this week, which is really going to be good for us.
So we'll get those guys back. So that's some of the injury updates there. We'll have an updated 2 deep, maybe not this week, but look at next week once we get all these guys back from injury. So for our entire staff and our entire crew, the coach, Kerwin Bell, Daniel Looker from the Catamount Sports Network saying thanks for tuning in on our YouTube channel and, of course, on our Facebook Live. Look forward to seeing you over at Ingalls Court in the Ramsey Center for Night in the Wii basketball action coming up at 7:30 across here from the Catamount Jaxe location. Special thanks again to Stanberry Insurance for all their help, and of course Prospect Cullowhee for their help sponsoring a Night in the Wii. For everybody involved, Daniel Hooker saying so long for now. We'll catch you right back here next Monday night on Catamount Football Weekly.